Adam Ondra is arguably the best all-rounded rock climber alive today with his ability to conquer the highest graded sport climb routes in the world. Let's dive into his 5 greatest ascents of all time and how he managed to complete them. First on this list is Adam's Ascent of Change in the Hanskjelleren Cave of Flatanger, Norway. The route is 55 meters in length and was the first ever 5C climb in the world. Change has 2 pitches linked into one and begins with a 513D into a very intense V14. The crux has some difficult smears and seams to navigate, and the remainder is a steep section of cave climbing. Adam ascended it at the young age of 18 on October 4th, 2012 after 9 weeks of attempts while working alongside Chris Sharma. It was considered a massive step in what was seen as possible in the world of sport climbing, and there is actually a 2-hour movie about Adam's road to completing the climb. Up next is Adam's climb several months later of La Dura Dura in Catalonia, Spain. This route is located on the multicolored limestone cliffs of the Contrafort de Rumbau and was completed by Chris Sharma in 2009. However, after multiple attempts over the years, Chris had almost given up believing that the route was even possible to climb due to some tiny crimper moves on the first 10 meters of the route. That was until Adam Ondra came along in another collaboration, and who better than him to test the possibility of whether it could be sent. After a tough 9 weeks of attempting the route, Adam free-climbed La Dura Dura on February 7th, 2013, and it was assigned a grade of 9B+ or 515C. It was actually confirmed as this grade before the previous route change was, so it can be considered the first ever confirmed 9B+ climb. Our number 3 climb is Adam's ascent of the Vassal route, located in his home country of the Czech Republic. Vassal sits on a limestone crag near the town of Sloop and is a lot shorter in length than the previous 2 climbs, being just 22 meters. However, that doesn't make it easier by any means. It's characterized as having 15 intense compression moves of 8B on a 40-degree cave, before getting into the crux, which is a 4-move boulder problem at an 8B+, with a single move being 8B on its own. It took Adam a frustrating 20 to 25 days of attempts, with only 2 attempts afforded each day due to the tough nature of the climb. But Adam eventually did the impossible by scaling the route, which made it the 3rd 515C graded climb scaled in history. Now this next climb switches it up a little bit to the world of big walls with the Dawn Wall climb. Though the Dawn Wall is lower graded than the other climbs on this list at 514D, it's the intense distance of the climb that makes it a crazy one. The route sits on the 3,000-foot El Capitan in Yosemite National Park and is considered the hardest climb in Yosemite and likely the hardest big wall climb in the world. The first free ascent of the climb was completed by American climbers Tommy Caldwell and Kevin Georgeson over 19 days in January 2015 after several years of planning. Adam completed the 32-pitch climb in just under 8 days, which just demonstrates his well-roundedness as a climber, being able to adapt to different styles. The Dawn Wall is the tallest, steepest, and most blank route on El Cap, with the tiniest hand and footholds. Though Adam's achievement here is mind-blowing, it's important to recognize the efforts of the first ascent by Tommy and Kevin in demonstrating the possibility, however small, of the route. And our number 1 climb by Adam here is of course the sport climb of Silence, also known as Project Hard. It sits again in the Hanskjelleren Cave of Norway at a length of 45 meters. Silence is considered the hardest climb in the world due to its technical difficulty and has an insane proposed rating of 515D or 9C, the first of such a grade to be climbed in the world. The first 20 meters of the climb are around 8B in difficulty and overlaps with the route change mentioned earlier on this list. After that, there are 3 extremely difficult boulder problems, which Adam said were the hardest he has ever climbed. Adam bolted the route about 10 years ago and thought it was just too ridiculous to climb at one point. Then in 2015, after multiple attempts, he made it his lifetime goal to make it up the route as a free climb. And that goal was reached on September 3rd, 2017 after 40 days of climbing over 7 visits to the area. The emotion was understandably intense after such a feat, with a mix of joy, excitement, and relief. To this day, Adam Ondra is the only one who has climbed Silence. Every generation has seen climbers break barriers of what was previously thought to have been possible, and Adam Ondra is a name that will go down in the records of the climbing world. It begs the question, will we see even tougher routes conquered in the next generation? Stay tuned, as here is the place to hear these amazing achievements and stories in the world of climbing. See you on the next one.